This is another little sequence that's good for loosening through the hips. So great for runners, great for cyclists, great for anyone who's been sat at a desk a lot. Yeah, anyone who just feels that tightness around the hips, which then can often impact on lower back and increase lower back pain. So great one for anyone wishing to do that. I use it often after a running, after I've been running, just to help with loosening out muscles after the run. So starting on all fours, we're going to tuck the toes underneath and send the hips back, so over our feet, and send the bottom into the air. So starting with the downward dog position, sliding the shoulder blades away from the ears so you're not hunching, and then lifting the tailbone into the air so that you can stretch down the hamstrings and calves to start. Pushing the heels down. And if you're particularly tight around the hamstrings and calves, you might want to spend a little bit longer doing that. But we're going to step through with the right foot. We're going to drop the left knee down, and we're going to bring the right foot across so that it's level with the left hand, or as close to as you can, all right? We're going to walk away with that left foot, so just inching it away so we sink down onto our hips. Untuck the toes when you're there, and just make sure your hips are parallel to the floor. In particular, you don't want to roll onto this right hip. If you find that it's not comfortable to hold this, you can always put a pillow or a block underneath that right buttock just to support you and make sure your hips are parallel to the floor. We're going to start by pushing the hips down and lifting the chest up. I'm tickling my toes. The cat's tickling my toes. And then if you wish to, you come down onto the forearms. This is a pigeon stretch. Is that why you're attracted to it? Pigeon stretch. And then if you wish to, you can go a bit further and lay yourself down on the floor. Don't scratch. Okay. As long as you can comfortably breathe, so you're not holding the breath or blocking that stretch. Just wherever you feel comfortable, and just stay here until you feel those muscles release out and aren't quite as tight. All right, again, just check your alignment, making sure you don't roll onto this right hip. And when you're ready, walking the hands back in, tucking the toes on the left and walking that knee back, sliding the right one back and just loosening out. And then we repeat the same on the other side. So we tuck the toes, send the hips back into that crouch position, bottom in the air, tailbone lifted, shoulders down, and then again, just stretching out the backs of the legs, hamstrings and calves. Very difficult to do one-handed. And then coming up onto the toes, this time stepping forward with the left foot, dropping the knee for a moment so that you can just angle this left foot around and level with your right hand. And then we walk that back foot away, deeper into that stretch. Again, just making sure we don't roll onto this left side, keeping it parallel to the floor. Ow! Okay, either untucking the foot and just pressing down to start, lifting the chest. And then when you're ready, sinking down to the floor if you feel comfortable to do that. Either chest up or you can relax all the way down. Keeping the breath even. And again, just holding until you feel that release through the muscles, that you're not gripping quite so much. And then when you're ready to come out, walking the hands back, tucking the toe on the right and just pushing the foot forwards, walking the knee back in, sliding back. And then from here, we're just going to do a little stretch for the calves and also the ankles and feet, particularly as runners and cyclists, that gets quite tight. And just in everyday life, you can lose a bit of mobility around the feet and ankles, which then impacts further up the body. So we're going to tuck the toes right under. And you're going to gradually push your weight back into your heels, okay? Now this is one where you just have to just listen to your body. Some people might get to here and think that's enough of a stretch for their toes and ankles. They don't want to go any further. But if you wish to deepen it, you can sit back on the heels. You want to make sure your toes, all 5 of them, are tucked right under, so you can always just pull them under if you're having difficulty getting them there. And then to deepen again, you can take the weight back and you'll feel that deepens each time you move the weight further and further back, but you just go with wherever position you need to. So you can feel the stretch, but you don't feel like you're going to break anything or that you can't maintain it. Again, keep the breath steady. And then walking forward slowly, taking the pressure off those feet and ankles very gently, untucking the toes. And now we're going to stretch out the fronts of the bottoms of the legs. So untuck the toes, the feet are flat. And now we're going to walk the hands back again, but we're going to lift the knees. Okay, so we're pressing into the front, and then we're going to come up with the knees. Okay, so you'll feel this stretch down across the top of the feet, bottoms of the calves maybe. And then we place the knees down, and we're going to switch it to the hips now, the fronts of the hips. So we're going to squeeze the bottom and push the hips up. If you're feeling very tight, you might want to lift and lower, just easing into the stretch. But if you feel fine holding, you can hold, as long as you push up with your bottom, not by arching your back, okay? Protect your lower back by using your buttocks instead. And again, just evening out your breath. When you're done, gently releasing down, walking the hands forward. And you can either repeat that whole routine if you're feeling quite tight and you need a second attempt to loosen everything off, or you can hold any of the poses longer if you particularly need to work one area or another. Enjoy!